getting a chance to work with him, getting a chance to learn from him, getting a chance to be around him, getting a chance to just eat off of his positive energy. Guys, unbelievable. Today, right now, you guys are going to get trained by him. Right now, you're going to get a chance to get mentored by him. Right now, a lot of your lives are about to be changed forever. I'm telling you right now, this is it. We've got to come to this convention. We already came here. Obviously, we came to this convention with one thing in mind, and that's, guess what? Walking out of here different than when we walked in. And how we're going to make that happen is through the training right now. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together right now for the one and only Mr. Josh Denne!
Right into the blueprint, and I guess I'll start with how we actually got here. This is very humbling and amazing. I was sitting here back and just praying to God, and being so grateful for everything that's happened. And I remember sitting down with her and just getting to know him. And I come to a point in my life where I was done with this industry. I'm like, I'm not gonna work in this industry anymore. And he was trying to convince me why I should. And here's kind of what happened for me. I was working in a machine shop, cleaning floors about $9 an hour. I made a lot of mistakes early on in life, especially in high school, mainly not going. So, everyone always laughs at that, but I just didn't go, and I didn't like it. It wasn't something that was for me. Of course, my mom didn't like that very much. She wanted me to go, and I didn't graduate. I watched my class graduate in the rain. I'll never forget. I had a video camera, and I'm watching all my classmates go across and get their diploma. It's raining on me. I'm like, great God, thank you. And I found myself cleaning floors. And I remember at that point in my life, I was working about 12 hours a day. I commuted from Riverside, California. I don't know anyone know where Riverside is? I lived like by the 215, right in Van Buren. And I commuted to Santa Ana. You all know where Santa Ana is? What's the one freeway you have to take from Riverside to get to Orange County? 91! Is that a freeway or a parking lot? Parking lot! I got up at 4 o'clock in the morning to get into my truck by 4:10, 4:15, working the machine truck so we need to get ready. So, I started driving. Now sometimes I got to work at 5:30. That was great. But if I didn't leave at 4:10 or 4:15, I could be late. If I wasn't there and punched my time clock at 6 o'clock, I could be fired. Has anyone ever punched a time clock? It's almost kind of humiliating. It's like weird. You know, have you ever had someone else punch you out? Just me? So that was my life. You know, I would get up, I would drive, 6 o'clock a.m., I would start working, and then 6 p.m. I would punch out, and then it would be the commute all the way back. Many times I just go to the gym and work out, so I would get home till about 9, 10 o'clock, and it would start all over again. And after about a year or so, I started looking around at all the other people that were in the same job I was at, that had been there for 5 or 10 years longer, kind of trying to see what my future may look like. And not one of them had a lifestyle that I desired. Have you ever done that? You ever look around people in your career like, I don't want to be you. Have you ever done that? I remember thinking to myself, there are some people that were just upset with life. People who'd almost given up on everything that they'd ever desired in their life, their goals, their dreams, their aspirations had kind of been pushed aside. And they're just like, well, this is the hand that I've been. Well, you heard that line of crap too, right? And I hear these people say, well, you know what? It's just the way it is. But that's not necessarily true. I mean, thank God that Einstein didn't say that. Thank God that Nelson Mandela didn't say that. Thank God that Gandhi didn't say that. Well, it's just the way it is. Right? And thank God for people who say no and go against the grain. And I remember thinking, there's got to be something different. And when I went through all my past history, you know, I just remember sweeping the floor, looking at the guy and going, I can't believe that I've survived all the things I've survived in my life, and this is what I'm doing. You ever been in that space in life where like, man, I know I was created for something more? I know for a fact every one of you in this room was created for something special. You wouldn't be in this room today if you didn't have that inside you. Am I right? You know that's inside you. God made me for something great, for something special. I just didn't know what it was. I didn't at the right time. And I started learning a system. So what I did, I watched the training, and this is so perfect, this is brilliant. It's following the system. He's talking about learning it, teaching it, right? Doing it, defending it. And that's what I got good at, because I didn't know anything else. I didn't know anything else. I didn't have a preconceived notion of how it should be. And I meet a lot of people, especially that have been in the industry before, that go, well, I have it my way. That's okay. You can have it your way, but put that on a shelf for a moment and try it this way. That's what my mentor says. Look, whatever you think you know, just put it aside and just do this system. And as I started doing it, it didn't happen overnight, but after about a year, things started happening for me. After about 2 years, I was making more money than I'd ever made in my life. After about 4 years, it was going, and I didn't have to even show up anymore, which was amazing. And I ended up making millions of dollars, and I learned this business. I learned it. I studied it. And I think the greatest thing that came out of studying how to be a business person, how to be an entrepreneur, how to be an effective communicator, how to be good with human interaction is my very best recruit in the world. I found the best human being I could ever hope to partner with in my life, which is my beautiful wife, Cindy. And really, I'm so honored because you changed my life. At this point, I was at a point in my life where I wanted to start a family. I was kind of giving up on certain things, and I didn't believe that people were having success where I was. I was doing well. My friends were doing well. Some of them, the ones who got started when I did, we were making money. I didn't see anyone else making money. I started having a hard time with that because I'm up on stage saying, hey, you can win, follow me, you'll have success. And after a number of years, they were following. They were doing the system, for sure. But they weren't making the money. I was just scratching my head, what is going on? So I started to check out. And because of that, I was just going in a different direction in my life when I met my wife. And she helped me. She helped me in so many different ways. And she helped me make a decision to leave where I was at. Now, it was the hardest decision of my life at that time because at that point, I was pretty comfortable. I was making well in excess of $500,000 a year for 4 or 5 years straight. That year, I made $780,000. So I was doing okay, and that was just like playing video games or hanging out. I was just traveling. People hung out with me and said, what are you doing? Like, whatever I want. It's so funny because a lot of people wanted to get in with me at that time. They see when I was broken, poor, I was going after like crazy, no one wanted in. They're like, well, so let's see how you do. And then when I had the Lamborghini, they're like, well, I want in. I'm like, too late. Game over. And see, I think a lot of you have that situation going on right now. You're about to learn the blueprint. You're about to learn the system. And the idea is to take action. When? Now. You got to take action now. And so, at this point, we made the decision to just leave the company. I just wanted to be able to take my income, and at least from the residual book, and just go do something else with our lives. Unfortunately, the CEO of that company, who'd been a CEO for almost 4 years, stepped down several weeks afterwards. She was like, after he shook my hand and said, for sure, you will keep your money. And for sure, I didn't get to keep my money. So I'm like, okay, well, I'll be able to just reset this real quick. You know, I've made money, it's been fine, I'll be able to reset it. And I started looking for things. I really did. I started looking for things. And my wife and I are flying everywhere. And here's the crazy part. She'd never been in network marketing before. And she looked at it kind of like, what is this business that you're in? And she didn't understand it fully. And then we started going and actually we started to build a company from ground up. And I learned about compensation and all these different things about how to build it from the backside. How to put together a compensation plan. We burned through several $1 million and lost it all. And then I started traveling around looking to see what's different in this industry. And I can tell you what, my wife, sure, this is what happened. After meeting a lot of owners and a lot of master instructors, she looked at me and said, she's like, I don't want anything to do with this business. She said, this is the kind of people, you want to do business with these people? No, I'm out. And we quit. Now at this time, we're now on no money left at all. Now, mind you, my wife's pregnant, and we have a 1-year-old daughter. Okay, now we've gone from doing well to like sinking everything. Stuff's starting to be lost, we're selling off watches, selling off everything that we've got. Really, the only people that were my friends, there were several, but some of the only 2 people that really stayed in contact with me were John and Tiffany. And I thank God that I could introduce myself, like, you know, they're talking, and say, I don't care, I'm my own man. I don't care what anyone says, they're my friend. Like, I love you. Thanks, and they would visit me and talk, and when our daughters were born, they came out, and they maintained the relationship. And that was like a source of happiness for us. And towards the end of meeting, towards the end, we started building this traditional business in real estate. We get our license, all right, I'm doing a new industry, a new business, it's exciting. Between November of 2011 and November 2010 and April of 2011, we burned through $500,000. Not just of our money, everything we had left in the world, and then my family's money and a lot of friends' money. Now we're on like food stamps. Thank God for my wife. She went, I would go do it. We're about to get thrown out on the street, evicted, everything she possessed, everything's gone. And I'm thinking, what do I got to do? I got to get back in this industry. That's all I know. I don't know anything else. I didn't graduate high school. It's not like there's a huge employment opportunity for Josh Denne. I'm not employers beating down the door. I need to have that guy. What ended up happening is, I hooked up with Tim Herr, and then of course John and Tiffany. We saw the company together, and when we met Isaac Venturebot, and you'll hear this over and over again. I know he doesn't like being put on the spot, but it was this man's heart. It was this man's heart. My wife and I looked at each other. Is this man for real? Is this real? Because we didn't want to do it again. We didn't want to go lead people into something that they weren't going to win at. That was the hard part for us. Now, you heard John say it. You heard Tiffany say it yesterday. It's like, it's your heart, it's your soul. How do you know what I'm talking about? Like, you know when you're going to put your label on something, we're not even going to put your name on it and say, look, listen, if you do this, you will succeed. Don't you want to mean it? That's what we wanted to mean. So when we met with Isaac, we saw his eyes, we saw his heart. I was like, at that point, I looked at Cindy, I said, if we have to work at the kiosk, I don't care. If I have to clean floors in this man's warehouse, I'm going to do it so I can be around him. Everything rises and falls on. Now, I'm going to go into the blueprint, because this is important. This is the foundation. This right here is going to set this system in motion. Everything that Jesse and Patty talked about, everything they talked about is this. And then they're going to learn about wild parties next. And this is all we do. It's all we do. We're setting it up. But this is the blueprint. This is the vital aspect of the deal. But a lot of times we don't feel like we're comfortable or confident to be able to deliver the information. Maybe because we have a bad situation. Maybe I remember used to think that once I have the money, once I have the story, once I have the things in my pocket, once I have the watch, then I'll be able to recruit people. And does anyone ever feel like that, honestly? We feel like, well, man, I need to have the story. And unfortunately, sometimes people make the horrible mistake of fabrication and making things up. You don't want to do that. Be authentic. Be you. Be who you are. The best thing you have is your story. The best thing you have is what's inside you when you're able to deliver. Let me illustrate this. The first time I did this, we recruited so many people. When I was broken, I had nothing. When I was hiding my car around the corner. When I had the Lamborghini, I had the watches, I had all the stuff, I didn't recruit as many people. It didn't help me like I thought it would. It didn't. If you're in a challenge right now, that's why you're here. Fix that. I want you to record it. Record it. Videotape it. And that's what I did just this last time. I videotaped it. So I want you to hear from the Josh Denne last year in June. Before I actually signed the application. I want you to hear from me last year when I was being evicted out of my house. When they were trying to get my car, when I was hiding it, before they finally took it. I want you to hear from that guy. Because if you're in a situation, I promise you, it doesn't happen. So roll this clip right here, and then we'll get to the movie.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, you are looking at a 3-day notice to pay rent or surrender possession. That's my name, my address. And where's the date? Well, it's June 5th, 2011. And yes, this is a real notice. This is real, unfortunately. But hey, it doesn't matter because I am a happy man. You see, it's been now, a year and a half without income. And it's okay. It doesn't matter because you don't need money to be happy. But you do need opportunity. You do need something to do and be excited about. And I'm telling you what, no matter where you're at in life, it can always get better. It can always get better, and I'm excited because I know what the future holds. I know that, if I just stay focused on the objective, stay focused on achieving success, stay focused on helping my family and serving other people and helping other people win, then I won't have to worry about these three-day notices. They won't be there anymore. And you know what? If you're sitting right now in a situation and you have a 3-day notice, or you don't have the money that you want to have, don't worry about it. Stay focused on your business. Stay focused on doing what you got to do. Don't worry about that you don't have the products. Don't worry about that you don't have the money. Worry instead about how you're going to get those things. Okay? Actually, I wouldn't say worry about it. Ask yourself, how can I get the money? How can I get the products? Start asking your brain those things, and what's great about it is God made us in such a way that when you ask your mind to do something, it immediately starts looking for solutions. If we start saying, man, I can't, it stops looking because you just told your brain, I stopped command. Don't look because I've already decided it's not going to happen. So don't decide that. Right now, I have no money in my bank account. Actually, I'm negative. I'm negative almost $1 billion. I'm about to get evicted from my house. My phone just got shut off. And, my electricity's been turned off a bunch of times. And I barely have food. I'm looking forward to you achieving success. And I know if I can do it, you can do it too. I recorded that thinking about you right now. This moment. I recorded it at that point. I had nothing to even know what we were going to do. Can't even sign up here. I recorded it about this moment right now. What's that saying? I'm not special. I'm not better than anyone in this room. Neither any of the leaders that are up here. The only difference between these people that we admire and we respect and we look up to is activity and time. For years I honed my mind. I read the books, I listened to the tapes. And I started to create the future what I wanted. So no matter what it was, we were going for that. I just gotta thank God for my wife's sympathy. He was there every step of the way, getting me back, and did not care. You wanna find a woman like that, single man? Learn this business. Okay, guys, look, I gotta go through this blueprint here. This is where everything is. Understand that you can achieve anything that you want in your life. First, you gotta believe it. First, you gotta see it in your mind as it's done already. And then you go to people with this. And this is the most important tool that we already talked about. You already talked about before construction is done on a building or skyrise. The architect is already designed with every rivet, every bolt, and every piece of wrought iron goes in that structure, true or false? This is your blueprint. Before you start going and charging your business, this is vital. And see, some of us are so excited, we get new people started, and sometimes we neglect this very important aspect. And when we do that, we set ourselves up for failure. I learned this a long time ago. It's called slow down to speed up. We want it fast. I know we do. We all do. But we need to slow down to speed up. Okay, what that looks like is going through this blueprint. Now, we're going to get a blueprint worksheet. It's available, I believe, today.
and it's available today. It's available here today. You want to get these. You want to print them off. You want to get as many as you can. And every human being that you get involved as a secret agent must sit down with you and go through this. Whether it's over the internet, you're talking to them over the phone, you guys are sitting both in front of you if you have a long distance person, or you're sitting right next to them. You go through it with step by step. We're going to work through this. The first thing we want to know is why they're doing this. Why they're doing it. My why was so clear and so evident with my wife. Like, we've got to get out of this. We've got to take care of our family. We've got children. We've got to do this. What is your why? What is your reason? And I want to sit down with any person and find out what it is that drives them. What's important to them? Is it their family? You know, sometimes we don't have much family, so maybe it's travel, or it's achieving success monetarily. We want to find out what those things are and so you know how to work with them. Now, I love this aspect of it because it's great. The next thing we do is find out what their 90-day skincare goal is. Now, why would you think we want to do that? Because we market skincare. Yes. Probably a pretty good idea. Now, some people may say, I don't have a skincare goal. That's okay. Say, look, then what I want to do with you is let's get a store. Let's get a 90-day store. If you're using the products, and I know what you're using them, you will have some great stores. You'll start to have some goals with your skin. Because if you're like me, I didn't use much skincare. And it slowly started moving up. First I started with the mud soap. I just started slow. Started with the mud soap. And then with the eye serum. And now I'm just secret everywhere. Body butter, I'm doing the whole deal. I like it. Because my wife likes it, so that makes me happy. The next thing is a 90-day financial goal. Yeah. So someone's going to drive, and they want to know, we want to know, hey, what's their goal? Is it $500 or $5,000? There's different strokes for different goals. A big mistake people can make in this area is trying to put their goals on the new person. Because maybe your goal is 5,000, but the very new person doesn't believe in their mind they can yet achieve that, and so 500 is enough. But if we set a goal for 5,000, they may shake their head and smile at you, but in their mind they just checked out. So we want to find out what their goal is. Some people go, I heard a goal the other day. It was like, I just want to make $200. That's what I want to make. And I had to stop myself from going, $200? But that was their goal. So I said, okay, $200. I write it down. That's your goal. Now my goal, your goal is secret agency to help that person achieve the secret goals and the financial goals. Now, this is what's beautiful about this. Because we have a mission this year. How many of you want to be on a mission? Everybody loves missions. Everybody loves it. So our first mission that we give people is called Mission Superstar. Okay, now this is great. We heard about it. We heard about what to do and what's coming up. I'm not going to go into the details because you already know. The objective is to achieve it, and the rewards come as a result of the activity. So here's our assignment to make this happen. So we have our mission. Now here's our first assignment. Now this is great because people love step-by-step. I do. So first assignment. We got to get that list out. That 100 people. And make that goal of at least 100. Most people have 100 people on their phone. Yep. So if they're saying, I don't know anybody, just say, hey, do you have a phone? What kind of phone do you have? They're going to tell you about Android. Most people are all proud of their phones, aren't they? How many people have an iPhone? Yeah. You have an iPhone? Yes. How many people have like an Android? We got some work to do, guys. Apple fans. They convert some of you today. But we're proud of our phones. So most people, they have that reaction. They go, I got Android. Oh, let me see it. Just grab it from them. Go to their contacts and start scrolling. It looks like you know, start with the A's. It looks like you got quite a few people here. When Timothy runs an announcement, what they hear in their mind is that I don't know anybody that's going to do this just yet. Rather than, do you know anyone? That is not the assignment. Make it clear, look, this is not the assignment. We don't care whether they're going to do it or not. We don't care whether they're going to buy a product or get started as agents. Just make a list. That's our assignment. We do that, most people go, okay, we do that. And what we do is they're making this list, and this is so important, because I know some of us want to go, and this is where the goal is, guys. This is where the money's at. I'm making that list and that contact list. Out of that, I want to hone in on the top 25, their best friends, their family, people that they love, people that if they broke down in the middle of the night would come get them. That's what I want to know. Who are these people? If you need to go through a memory jogger, it'll be provided in the worksheet. Finding out who they know, going through the names. Most of you have seen it. If you haven't, make sure you go through it before you leave here this weekend. Second assignment. You're going to schedule 2 wild parties. How many? 2. So how many parties are you going to schedule? 2. Now this is scheduling. So we're taking out the calendar and we're scheduling them with a new person. Now it's close to right now as possible. I have a big rule of thumb in this business called urgency. It's urgency, and in urgency, it's as close to now as possible. So many times you get a spa party tomorrow if you can. Because people, they think they have to have all this time to invite. No, they don't. How many people had a party, decided to have it Friday morning, and Friday night was a big party? Come on. Well, most every one of us have done this, so you didn't know what you were doing on Friday, so you invited you and you showed up. That's how it happens. So schedule those 2 right away, and you want to plan your first one at least in your first week. Within your first week minimum. Because I know sometimes you have family obligations and other things that are going on. But make sure you schedule it at least within your first week. Now here's assignment 3. You're going to invite people to this grand opening. So first you're scheduling it. You see, I'm taking people through a process. Second, I'm going to invite them. And we have an invitation script right there on the blueprint, so people want to have an idea. Hey, what do I say? What do I say exactly? Follow the script. Follow the script. Put you in it. Smile. Be authentic. And what you want to do is at least get your closest people there to that first one. You know, your best friends, your family, 10 to 15 of those people. And we have the proven methods in the blueprint for this item. Do the wild part. It's kind of simple, right? First we're scheduling it, right? Then we're inviting for it, and now we're doing it through the whole operation. So you're going to do the preparation. You're going to use the flip chart. You're going to demo the products. Again, this business is so simple because all we got to do is put products on people. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to enroll the agents. A lot of people miss this sometimes. We're at the spa party, we're outside, we're at the wild party now, we're there, everyone's excited, and at the end we're like, okay, so what do you think? Oh, we've got to enroll agents and enroll preferred customers so we pass them on. We're going to learn all about that in wild parties in a moment. But the idea is when you're sitting with that agent, going through the blueprint, this is their assignment. This is the next step. We're going to check this stuff off. Good assignment is simple. This is the completion of the system. This is why it's so important we go through it with everybody. We plug everybody in. I love what Jesse did. Because I was sitting over here going, I couldn't hear him. I found myself saying, man, I can't turn your mic, you know. I was just watching, because I know Jesse, he does some pretty awesome stuff. So I'm running with it. As he's going and going, I'm like, all right, he obviously knows his mic's off. And then everyone starts going, because they're not plugged in. And I watch all the numbers. Like I'm on every week watching the numbers, and it's amazing to me how we'll have so many new people come into the business, and those same new people aren't plugged in. Doesn't it make sense to plug them in to the top runners of the company? Doesn't it make sense to plug it into the founders and the owners? So when I'm sitting down with them with the mission, and I'm showing them the assignment, I'm making sure they write down the number. I'm making certain that they pull out their phone and they program it into the phone, so they have a calendar set. Because a lot of times people just forget that they want to do it, but it's not into a pattern. We want to make sure we help them create that habit. Successful people have successful habits. And we'll remind people for a period of time. I get someone new and I'm going to remind them for probably about a month, every week. Now they're on it. And make sure that they're plugged into the local and regional events. The local in their area, especially the regional events, and the national conference. You're going to be hearing more about the next national conference up, but that will be on every blueprint, every time you're talking about this. So it's important, in wrapping this up, it's important to have the mindset, know that you can do it, sit down with people and make sure we walk them through the system. Walk them through it. That's just the blueprint. They know how to do it. Now they're ready to be in business. Now they're ready. And the next training that you're going to hear from is all about the wild party, making it happen. So before we go to that, we're going to run a real quick teaser because it's actually a 10-minute video. So rather than having to go through it, sometimes you can sit there and watch a video with your new prospect, and they'll go through this blueprint with them on a great video. So here's the teaser. Let's roll that right now. Thank you. God bless. I appreciate it.